Welcome back to Tokened Up. We've got Steve here from Studio Staja. He's hosting the Staja West event that's coming to the Edmonton area that we're all super excited for. We don't get a lot of big heroclix events here in Canada, and you guys have been a part of the last two major ones, this West and, of course, heroclix Nationals, which you guys hosted. And you guys are located in Ottawa, right?
Yep, that's right. We're on Rideau Street in Ottawa, just a few minutes down from Parliament Hill. Yeah.
Wonderful. And did you want to introduce yourself real quick for people like myself who haven't really met you before?
Sure. So I'm Stephen Ogden. I'm the co-owner of Studio Staja, which is a game store in Ottawa. I'm co-owner with my wife, Asia Vessler, and we are both heroclix players of many, many years. Both people who have played all over the continent for heroclix at various nationals and worlds events. And we also run the heroclix events that happen here locally in Ottawa. Our store is about a year old, but we've already kind of made a name for ourselves in terms of like a cornerstone of heroclix in Canada by hosting the Nationals tournament this summer and other events. And we, just as part of my organizing for heroclix Nationals, I always had the intention of taking a piece of the prize support pool from that to organize something out west out of a recognition of how big this country is and how hard it is to get around it. And so that there'd be something, at least a smaller, but like just, well supported, prized event that could happen out in Alberta.
Thank you very much. If people haven't heard you before, that was a great introduction. And you mentioned how you've only been up for a year. And I know from experience, it's very hard to get in touch with WizKids for some things, try to get kind of local scenes going. So how did you grow your store that just started to hosting Canadian Nationals a year later? Like, what does that look like?
Okay, so yes, my store's only existed for a year. My tendrils in the heroclix community have been established a lot longer than. So that's a part of it, is that there's a certain level of community building and name recognition that I've done. And as a personal philosophy, I always fairly generous when people ask for help or need things. But economically, what that means is some of that kind of comes back to you eventually, right?
Of course, goodwill circles.
Yeah, exactly. And so I've always kind of had that approach. I'm the one who created the Canadian heroclix exchange group on Facebook, which has kind of become the main place where Canadians can trade amongst themselves, which is important because it allows us to the other groups are great, the international groups, but crossing borders with packages and trading and stuff like that is complicated, and Americans don't always want to do it with us, and we don't want to do it with them because of those complicated border things, and that's fine. That's no one's fault. Well, it's not any heroclix player's fault, at least.
Yeah, especially with our bail system.
Yeah, exactly. And so to create that space so that people can do that here without worrying about all that stuff, and it also became a space where we were communicating sort of the big information about national events and bigger regional events and stuff. And so I've always kind of like I said, had my tendrils out.
Mm-hmm.
I helped kind of advise Marc-André, who is the owner of Nabutzik Tabletop, who hosted Canadian Nationals the 2 years before we did. Help him kind of figure out, how to do it, because I had traveled to all these national and worlds events before, and so I don't come at it from zero.
Yeah.
And I'm also, my background before doing all this involved a lot of large-scale event organization, much bigger than any heroclix tournament I've ever seen. And so these kind of things fall really well into my wheelhouse. And the other way to reach WizKids was just to email them, and they'll tell you several times and ask for updates and see hey, I want to do this. Can I do this? What's going on? And just put myself on their radar. You can't get it if you don't ask, right? So.
Absolutely. And so it sounds like you're very much an enfranchised player, and this is something that you seem to just be kind of naturally good at and work towards as well. But I've got to ask, you guys are in Ottawa, so why here in Alberta and why now for this Staja West event?
Yeah. So, like I mentioned before, being I, being a Canadian who has spent a lot of time in different parts of this country. My dad was in the army, so I actually lived in Edmonton for 4 years when I was a kid. But I've been all over the place. My work has taken me all over the place. I understand how big this country is and how hard it is to travel it, and I also get like just how complicated sort of like uh, keeping these kinds of like heroclix communities together can be. And I recognized, so when I was opening my store last year, when I was in the process of opening it, I believe that's around when some of you folks were organizing, I want to say it was an ROC event,
Yeah, that
or
is ROC is kind
or
of our
Champion
one.
Clicks.
ROC is like our one major event that'll happen here pretty much every year. So whenever they take a year off from organizing, like what happened last year, we really feel
Hmm.
that because then we don't have anything to really kind of strive for. And
Right.
I know there's smaller communities than us that don't even have that. So looking at a states, which is kind of what the Staja West is being compared to up here, of like this is going to be our version of a regional this year. Of that kind of event's very big for communities that don't have something that's just regular and to be expected.
Yeah, and so what I saw when I would like what because I created those groups and have
Mm-hmm.
those tendrils, like I said, I saw that that event was not being organized by a retail store, but by just the players doing it themselves, right? Um, and on the one hand, I was like, well, I'm building up my store. It's going to be a singles store. I'm going to sponsor this event. So I sent you guys a box of LEs. I don't remember what they were, but just like a big
we
box of LEs. I was like,
we
here
actually
you
got a
go.
little bit of trouble for that. So
Oh, really?
yeah, we did. I mean, as someone who does event organization, if you want to organize something, you really want like your logos and your stuff to be everywhere. So you got the brand recognition. And like you said, we've got some really, really great local people here that double as judges as well, that do a lot of this organization. And so, of course, we accept any outside help possible, just like any community would do. So when we were kind of showcasing off some of the stuff that you had sent us for that ROC, which was my first ever event that I'd gone to, uh, event organizers got in a little bit of trouble for that because the ROC organizers were like, "Hey, who is this Studio Staja? It's not their tournament."
Okay. I
So
did not know that.
yeah,
Whoops.
I don't even know if
I
I'm
mean, I need
allowed
to
to say
ask.
that. But we
You can
kind of
ask.
we showed it off because it's something for the players, and we're just excited to get the players stuff and just excited to be at the table.
Yeah, and so what I was getting at though is that like I saw that you folks were organizing it
Mm-hmm.
yourselves, and I wanted to support that because I know that those kits um, crossing the border are prohibitive. Like they are very expensive for Canadians. They're not like the Americans do not pay as much as we do for them, and they are not subject to whatever border tariff Canada Post, USPS,
Mm-hmm.
American and Canadian border, whatever's, all that stuff. Um, so I recognize that that's a difficult thing to do. I understand why retail stores are reticent to pick up those kits. I haven't actually picked up an ROC or a Champion Clicks kit yet because I don't think I have enough of a player base here
Yeah.
to make it make sense, right? Um, and so I was like, okay, I want to. They really want to do this. I want to support them, but I also recognized, oh, you've got the capacity to do this, right? You've got organizers, you've got people that'll put it together, and so I did that. I sponsored you guys, and then that stayed in the back of my head. And then when I picked up the prize support, or when I picked up nationals, I was like, oh well, I can also use some of this to support an event, and I already know where to go, right? Because
Wonderful.
I had seen that process already. And so I talked to Derek Benedict, who
Mm-hmm.
I think was the one who booked the library and everything. And I was like, would you do this again? Which was a question I asked even before nationals. I was like, would you do it again if I sent you guys a prize kit? And he said, yeah, we'll talk later, which is what we did. And that's how we ended up here. So it's essentially that same model, but the price tag is a little bit lower. there's no risk on you guys as well. You know that the package, I'm tracking it now. It should get there uh, with plenty of buffer time.
Wonderful.
And yeah,
Because especially with how bad the weather gets up here, I know for the ROC last year, the guy that ended up getting all the product of our local judge up here, who's very beloved by some of the players, was super worried he wasn't going to be even able to get there because of the snow and everything. And I know a lot of
right.
event organizers down in the States really don't have to deal with how bad some of the weather is at this time of year, just because they're so much further south. And so that's something that, as another Canadian, that's something that we're just more aware of. But let's see. For this event, and like any other HeroClix event, I know a lot of people aren't aware, but HeroClix events are open. Like, if you want to go to a regional event or a world event or anything else, all you have to do is sign up for it and show up. You don't need a point system. You don't need, to win 3 other championships 2 countries away and then come back. None of that. You just show up and play. And so for your event, where can people sign up, and how many people are you expecting to be here at Staja West?
I think we're up to 16 or 17 registrations right now. They can sign up at our website at staja.ca. So that's staja.ca. If they search for Staja West, it'll come up, or if they go to our event page, it'll be there under the paid events. We have enough prize support to support at least another 8 players, so there's still time for that. The event is on Saturday, right? Yeah.
Yep.
It's a $35 registration. They can register there. And I think the important thing to stress, especially for players that have never done one of these events, and this is part of my philosophy too, is that I don't like charging anyone if they're not going to go home with something.
Absolutely.
And so there is participation prizes for everyone. There's a few things that are going to be drawn. There's some extra stuff that I'm not even sure what we're doing with, but it's in the box and it's for giving to people. So there should be enough to go around, so that even if it's not your best HeroClix performance that day, you will still get some kind of box LE that you can go home with.
And so for people that aren't very familiar, or this is your first one, normally we start with a round robin, and then you end up doing a top cut. So you play 3 to 4 matches, and then if you end up in the top bit of the bracket, you continue on and play some more 1v1s, end up at the very top. Everyone else, after the round robin, if you don't make the cut, is there any side events for people like that here at Staja West? Are we playing in battle royales or something similar?
I don't have anything for that. No, there's just the main event as it stands. If there is going to be anything else, it'll be the local organizers. I'm not going to be on site, so it'll be those guys that will decide. But yeah, there's nothing set up.
Well, no worries. Here in Edmonton, we love battle royales. I know our sister community in Lethbridge isn't as big of a fan, but almost all of us will carry a battle royale map on us, so we got you if you don't have a good day. You may not win anything off of it, but we got you.
All right.
And then, so what can someone expect if they've never been to a HeroClix event before? If this is their first time going out and playing with others?
It is a 300 modern tournament, so it'll be people will be bringing their sort of their A game.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, knowing again, because of the tendrils that I have out there and the players that I've seen and the registrations that I've seen on the list, you're going to have a lot of fairly welcoming, fairly friendly players who will, even if they, even if you're swiftly, beaten by them, they will be friendly about it. You'll learn a lot about the game. You'll be able to develop your strategy. For the next one, because this isn't an official, WizKids tournament or anything like that, but there will be some later. There will be the ROCs, so it's also a chance to kind of practice new strategies, especially with 2 new HeroClix releases that came out for us in the same month. If you're in Canada, right? They came out both in October.
If you guys don't know, our Lantern Legacy got delayed so badly that our X-Men 97 release stuff and our Lantern Legacy stuff that all got ordered way in the past arrived on the same day here in Edmonton. I know it's a little bit more spread out for other places, but this is all still brand new to us, and we've got some really solid players up here. So people are still experimenting with all kinds of stuff, and nothing set in stone yet.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best part of this one. If you're a new player and you're like worried about, you don't have the whatever the current meta is, there isn't one really right now. It's kind of
it's a blank slate.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good time to just kind of come up with some, and this is my usual philosophy as a heroclix player myself, is like come up with some wacky idea and see if it sticks. The great opportunity to do something like that. So I would definitely recommend as much experimentation as possible at an event like this, because again, the pricing is pretty good for even top. I think there's like 16 box LEs for the top 16 players, as well as a participation prize. So you're going to go home with a couple of things probably. So it's a good time to just kind of let loose and see what you can come up with.
Yeah, and if you're worried that you don't have the collection, don't sweat it at all. Locally, I mean, if you're in Edmonton or Lethbridge, or you're planning to go to Staja West and you don't have something that you want, just put it in the comments down below. I'm going to put this up on the Reddit as well. Our local communities are amazing, and I can say that firsthand. Even if you don't have a single piece that you want to play with and you can put it and get it to some of us, we'll find it for you and show up just to make sure you got something to play with. And speaking of that, I know I've ordered quite a bit of stuff for this event from you guys. I'm planning to play the Legacy Galactus. I didn't get to play with that when it was modern, and that's just a big fun piece that I get happy about to put on the map. And so I'm planning to win the event with that big guy if I end up playing. And I ordered that from you guys. I got the Legacy card from you guys. And I understand that you guys have some kind of deal going on if somebody orders from you and plans to pick it up at the event. Can you tell me about
it? Yes, but it's too late to take advantage of it because there was a deadline. So the idea was, and this was just, I'm shipping a box out anyway, so I offered free shipping essentially for anything that was ordered through us up until I want to say last Tuesday was my deadline, so that I could pack it up with the prize support and send it off with enough time to make sure that it gets there.
Totally makes sense.
Before
I
the
just
event.
debated anybody that just got excited about that, and I apologize. But it's really cool stuff like that makes the heroclix community so incredible. Because even if you go and you just bomb out, right? Like you have the worst day of clicks you've ever played, you're still going to have a blast just being around other people that are just excited to be there and play. And I know we've got a bunch of people up here in my local community that just get excited about people putting creative stuff on the map. I mean, I know I'm quite a creative team builder myself, so I know some people up here get kind of terrified when they don't understand what I'm doing right away. But there's a lot of us that will just see a really cool sculpt and be like, oh, I'm so glad you played it. And so you'll get people excited just by coming out and playing what you like and get some good conversations going.
I challenge anyone to try to put together a build with the Chase Captain Marvel from Smash and Destroy. It was my new favorite piece to try to make work at full points. The meteor dropping and the jumping off the map and everything. Cool. Yeah, it's very cool. It's very unpredictable. It like messes up a lot of strategies. I haven't quite figured out how to make it a winner yet, but I do enjoy trying.
Yeah, we've got a local here, Wade, who I know put it on the map 3 or 4 times after she came out and then put her away. So I'm going to put this in his inbox and just issue him the little challenge. Because he's
Shout
a
out
very
to Wade,
good player.
He was at our event this summer. He came to Canadian National.
Yeah, I think he was top 7, and he was playing one of my teams, which we were very excited for.
All right.
He didn't settle on it until he actually showed up today, so he brought both teams in the bag, and just like any other heroclix player, chose at the very last second.
Sure, yeah.
But I wanted to, before we get any deeper into just like team building and that kind of thing, I wanted to ask, when everything is all said and done on the 22nd, what's going to make this a successful event in your eyes?
I think if everyone shows up, it'll already be a successful event, right? and if the weather is good, that's the other thing that I'm really hoping it turns out okay. So far, it seems okay. I believe last time I checked.
Yeah, I gotta scrape the windshields, but other than that, the roads are still good. Everything else still looks clean. So, fingers crossed.
Yeah. Scraping the windshields is a small price to pay to travel
Yo,
in Alberta. That's for sure.
bro, I'm a Floridian. I still think if I have to scrape my windshield, that's a day off work. Like I don't have to go in. That's a snow day, chief.
Wow. Yeah. Nope. Like I said to the other guys, like I have not so fond memories of trick or treating in Edmonton with my snowsuit over my costume as a kid.
So successful for us is just everybody showing up, people having a good time, and walking away with some kind of participation.
Yeah, because the important thing is too, right? Like it's not just like playing the game in your
Mhm.
local pods in your local communities, but it's getting everyone together to play at a larger scale, right? And growing that space, right? Growing those connections, those people, those friendships, and those people that you compete with, that you see over and over, and that's what keeps a lot of people at that level of the game. Like it's not, um, the that is like level B, level C kind of stuff, right?
Yeah,
Because the core of building HeroClix communities is in the local stores, and it's getting those new players to come in. But these kinds of events is what it's what brings people to that next level, right?
absolutely.
And grows it for them. It's community building.
So my favorite part of any HeroClix event that I've been to or casted at is lunch. And I know that sounds like I'm just a chunky monkey and I like to eat, but it's because people from all these different communities that aren't from that area are like, "Hey, what's good around here?" And you end up going to lunch with like 8 or 9 or 10 people, and you only know like one person in the group, but everyone there is just excited to be playing clicks and talk strategy and just see what the local community's about. And that
Mm-hmm.
kind of networking and a little bit of competitiveness, because I love those internal, rivalries of whenever I see that person, I can't lose to that guy. Don't like match us up. Let me get my win. I'm gonna beat that guy because he beat me last time, and I'm not gonna let it happen again. Like those rivalries are wonderful to have, and going to lunch, like don't be shy if you go to an event the first time, especially in a place you're not familiar with. Just ask around, hey, where are people going? You mind if I tag along? And you're going to be wrapped in like a new person in the fold, and it's going to be like you've always been there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel the same way, or is that just a me thing?
Well, lunch, yes, or like the downtimes. I think the battle royale format is also a good way to do that. Because the focus of a player when they're in that competitive mode is different, especially in a 300 modern constructed tournament.
Very much
I'm
so.
also a big fan of the teams, the sealed teams format,
Hmm.
which I'm assuming you've never done before,
No,
but
because they're only at the
um,
big events. So if we do it here, it's got to be you got to get like
you need a
9 people
critical amount of people.
together. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It is a challenge. And registrations weren't as high as I would have liked at nationals this year, but we still had about 9 or 10 teams, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
And so that's not bad, but you do need a critical amount of people
Yeah,
to
you
make
need
it
a
work.
lot of people
Um,
for a bunch of 3v3.
yeah. But the energy at those events is a little bit more pulled back, and so that you're playing sealed. Everyone's kind of using the same figures.
Hmm.
You're the victory isn't entirely on you. It's shared. Whether you win or lose is a shared burden. And so it kind of takes the edge off of all that, and it makes those interactions a lot easier. But yeah, downtimes obviously connecting with people. I've had great times at uh, the hotel in Memphis, or checking out new restaurants in Columbus when Worlds was back then, or in Montreal and Toronto and all the different places where nationals has been held. Uh, those are good times for sure.
So we have pretty much covered most of what I wanted to ask, but you mentioned earlier about there's no established metagame. And so I am a bit of a hawk for if I see an event going on on HC units, I'm in there. I'm refreshing it. I'm in our group chat like, oh my god, Trigon made it. Trigon's 2-0 right now, and I'll be cheering for you. You may never have played with me before, but if you've got a cool team, I'm there in my group chat making sure people have heard about you. And so Red, White, and Clicks had an incredible showcase for multiple different teams. Top 8 had, I think, 10 different primes or something crazy like that. And this is a diversity that I love to see. I think that diversity in a metagame where anything's playable, you just kind of grab what you want and run with it, is a sign of good health. What are you expecting here at Staja West on, that side of the fence?
Oh, you're going to be disappointed because I
no.
have not looked at any of that. Yeah. As a general rule, I support and enjoy playing the metagame, the 300 modern game.
Yep.
But I'm not that deep into it.
I don't expect anyone else to be. I'm a fanatic, bro.
Yeah. Oh, but you're not alone. You're not alone. I definitely just the last time I was at Worlds, not this edition, but the one before, because I didn't go.
Yeah.
No, not a lot of Canadians went this year, but the year before, I remember it was after a long day of playing heroclix, we're having dinner at 10 p.m. There's 10 people at the table, and everyone's talking about heroclix in a very intense way, and I'm just like, yo, I can't do this for 14 hours a day. I can do it for 10, yeah. But I'm done after that 10th hour. I'm like, I can be talking about something else, and so I'm not as plugged into that meta. And when I play meta, when I build for meta, I don't tend to look at what's going on.
That's good. That's how we get better stuff showing up, is people like you playing the game at a good level.
Yeah. So, and I've had a lot of fun victories over the years from doing that, from playing something out of the ordinary, because it's unexpected. I've never won any big tournaments, but I have knocked over some people that were really very surprised to see what my team could do, and that's how I do it. So I really don't follow the meta that much.
So You actually emailed me to check to see if this was a mistake, but I bought 2 tickets for this event. One for myself and one for my best friend, Chris. And he only plays heroclix to appease me. That is it. He's not even really a fan of the game, but he's good enough at board games where he can get by no matter what, if I can just show him how to play. And so for this event, he said, Jay, I know you need the people. I'll be there. Hook me up with a team that's going to be fun, and I don't have to think too much about it. And so just to give people an example of some of the stuff that you can bring and have some fun with, he's coming out with 150 points of the D&D Beholder, 100 points of T-Rex to go around with it, and a just straight Ramonda with a ring just to heal them up. So he's got the classic RPG tank damage dealer support, and that's it. And he's running with it. And we've done some testing, and he's been having a blast. I think this is the most fun he's had playing Clicks, period. And we're really looking forward to him deleting some people off the map with some big crits. And he's basically just playing a D&D encounter that someone's going to match up with in this round robin and be like, what am I sitting across from? And there's just so many.
I love it.
Yeah, there's so many pieces like that are good in their own right, but maybe, if you're too competitive, you won't see the value in them. But if you just like what you're playing with and having fun, you're going to have a blast, and you're going to steal some games off of people that underestimate you. And then I get to hear about that afterwards, which is what I'm looking forward to. If I can hear someone in the Edmonton Clicks, text chat be like, this guy deleted 3 of my characters with Beholder in 1 attack, I'm just going to be having a good day.
Yeah, I do have a local here. She is building a team. She's tinkering with something around the new Chase Nightcrawler.
Yes!
And so if I see some teams with that at Staja West, I'll look into, just to see how we can tinker with her build that she has going on for that.
That'll be awesome. I just love the creative aspect of it and people playing characters that they love, and especially because we've got the new X-Men 97 set. I mean, people loved 97, and these characters seem very true to form for the TV show. People love Green Lanterns for the New Lantern Legacy. People love, Big Hulk Smash from Smash and Destroy. Like, we have so many good sets in the game right now that everyone can find something they love. You just gotta reach out and ask somebody if you don't know yourself, like, hey, does this character exist? How do I build with this guy? And we'll hook you up.
Yeah.
But before I let you go, because I'm kind of all out of questions, was there anything else you wanted to talk about for the event, or do like some last minute plugs, something like that?
I mean, do follow us on our Instagram and our social media and just in general if you want updates on our singles store or other heroclix events that we're doing. I am planning in locally here at our store in February. I'm going to tinker with like a massive super sealed chase booster event.
Heck yeah, people love that stuff.
Yeah. So we're going to work on something bigger with probably 16 to 24 tickets here. Other than that, yeah, keep an eye on what we're doing. Check out our TikTok as well. We make a lot of stupid videos around heroclix too.
Yeah.
Asia has built, my co-owner and my wife Asia has made several TikTok dance videos with heroclix, so go and check those out.
Are we talking like stop motion, or is she just holding it and hitting it? What are we doing here?
Stop motion, actually.
Heck
yeah. As well as some other stuff. And we have an intern here, or not really an intern anymore, but one of my colleagues, Maya. If you were at Nationals, you would have met Maya. She was the BR Tsar that we called her, the Battle Royale Tsar. But she's also messed around with some heroclix for her videos as well. So just on top of all the other goofy stuff that we put on our TikTok, definitely worth watching some of those silly heroclix videos.
That sounds like a blast. I'll tell you what, if you can send me some links to your socials through Discord, I'll put them down in the link down below so people don't have to hunt for them. They can just click it and jump straight to you. But I think that's going to wrap us up. I'm excited. You said we had prizes for 8 more people, so that's 8 slots. And we'll find prizes for more people if you want to sign up and just get this Pinhold library jumping, which is where it's going to be at.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. It's great to just put a face to the name.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no problem. And yeah, thanks for having me.